Under the relentless sun of the savannah, a war as old as time itself is being waged. A conflict burned into the soul of Africa. This is no simple confrontation. It is a dynastic vendetta. On one side stands the epitome of feline power, the lion. It is a 200-kilogram ambush machine, designed for bursts of brute force. Its retractable claws are deadly grappling hooks, and its roar is not just sound. It is a sonic shockwave that defines its territory and paralyzes its rivals. They live in prides, a coalition of power and strategy, but their dominance is never assured. In the opposite corner, its eternal adversary, the spotted hyena. Often maligned as a mere scavenger, the reality is much more formidable. It is an accomplished hunter, gifted with astonishing social intelligence. Its society is a complex matriarchy, ruled with an iron fist by alpha females. And where the lion has strength, the hyena has relentless endurance and the ultimate weapon for plunder. The most powerful bite of any African mammal, capable of pulverizing giraffe femurs as if they were chalk. When these two titans meet, the tension is palpable. Lions kill hyenas not out of hunger, but to eliminate competition. Hyenas, using their numerical superiority and complex communication, harass lionesses to steal their hard-earned prey. This is the central battle for control of the savannah. You've just set foot in the sand. This ancient battle for the savannah is just beginning. If you want to secure your observation post for every brutal confrontation, like this video. Subscribe to join our expedition and turn on notifications to be notified the moment the next conflict erupts. These two superpowers of the savannah are the result of two completely opposite evolutionary trajectories, two different answers to the same question: how to dominate this landscape. The lion is the embodiment of stealth and strength. It is an ambush predator, a coiled spring. Its body is designed for bursts of cataclysmic power. It uses the cover of night or tall grass, stalking with infinite patience, closing the distance inch by inch. Its padded paws muffle its footsteps. The attack is an explosion of violence. Claws sink in to anchor the prey, and jaws seek the throat to suffocate the life out of it. It is a high-risk, high-reward strategy that depends on precision and perfect timing. But brute force has an evolutionary adversary: intelligence and endurance. This is where the hyena comes in. Where the lion is a sprinter, the hyena is a relentless marathon runner. Its heart and lungs are enormous, designed for grueling chases that can last for miles, harassing its prey until it collapses completely. Its true weapon is the clan, a hive mind coordinated by a complex repertoire of vocalizations. They can execute flanking maneuvers, relays, and distraction attacks that outwit much larger prey. And their bone-crushing bite ensures that nothing goes to waste. They don't need the perfect ambush. They simply refuse to give up. If the lion's strategy is that of a surgical coup de grace, the hyena's is that of a relentless siege. Its body is not built for the explosive speed of the cheetah or the absolute stealth of the lion. It is built to survive anything. Its incredible endurance is legendary. With an oversized heart and lungs, the hyena can maintain a steady trot, covering vast distances without tiring, pursuing its prey until exhaustion and panic set in. It is psychological and physical warfare, a chase that simply does not end. But its most formidable adaptation is undoubtedly its weaponry, one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. Its jaws, anchored to a huge sagittal crest on the skull, are not simply designed to tear flesh. They are designed to pulverize. With a force exceeding 1,100 psi, pounds per square inch, they can splinter the largest bones, accessing the nutrient-rich bone marrow that other predators must leave behind. Where a pride of lions leaves a skeleton, a clan of hyenas leaves only dark smears in the dust. This ability to consume everything gives them a decisive advantage in the battle for every calorie on the savannah. The smell of fresh blood is an unmistakable invitation, a bell that rings for miles. The lionesses have just brought down an adult zebra, a prize won with sweat, stealth, and a violent burst of power. The feast has barely begun, but their victory is short-lived. From the horizon, drawn by the chaos of the hunt, emerges the rival clan, the hyenas. At first, they are just gliding shadows, but soon they become a cacophonous crowd, a mottled tide of opportunism. Their matriarch, huge and confident, leads the charge. The atmosphere instantly shifts from a feast to a tense siege. The lionesses, though outnumbered, form a wall of golden muscle around their prey. They respond with deep, guttural roars that vibrate in the chest, bearing fangs designed to kill. It is a clear warning. This is ours. But the hyenas are not intimidated. The psychological game begins. They start their infamous laughs and howls, a chorus designed to destabilize and sow panic. They move constantly, flanking the lionesses, testing their defenses. More daring individuals lunge forward in quick feints, trying to provoke a reaction or find a gap. Each side sizes up the other, calculating the risk. For the lionesses, an injury could spell the end. For the hyenas, a frontal attack on adult lionesses is suicide, unless they can use their numbers to overwhelm them. The zebra carcass lies between them, the epicenter of an explosive standoff. The scene is palpably tense. A few lionesses, exhausted from the hunt, face a clan of hyenas that is growing in number, a noisy and emboldened mass. The lionesses, with their shaggy manes and fixed gazes, form a protective circle around the zebra. Their growls echo, but the numerical disparity is overwhelming. The hyenas, now 20 or more, flank relentlessly. Their shrill laughter mingles with the snapping of their jaws, a cacophony intended to undermine the lioness's morale. A young, reckless hyena lunges at the prey, but is repelled with a swipe that sends it tumbling to the ground, though it gets up unharmed and rejoins the fray. The lionesses try to charge, but every time one breaks away from the group, the hyenas close in, forcing her to retreat. It is a dangerous dance of intimidation and daring. The hyena clan knows it has the advantage of numbers. The lionesses know it and feel the pressure. The battle is not only for food, but for respect, for hierarchy. The question is not whether the hyenas will try to steal it, but when they will find the gap large enough to overwhelm the feline defense. The zebra, despite its recent death, seems to still breathe with the tension of this struggle. Just when the cohesion of the defending lionesses seems about to break, a new sound cuts through the air. It is not the maniacal laughter of the hyenas, but a low, resonant growl that makes the ground vibrate. More golden silhouettes emerge over the hill. Reinforcements of lionesses have arrived. The rest of the pride, drawn by the commotion, enters the scene with imposing confidence. In a single instant, the balance of power shifts dramatically. The hyena clan, instant masters of risk calculation, come to a screeching halt. The cacophony dies down. The hyena matriarch sees that the odds have shifted from favorable to suicidal. There is no chaotic retreat, but a tactical dissolution. They are forced to withdraw, but they do not flee. They retreat to a safe distance, just out of reach of a lion's charge, and settle under an acacia tree. Their eyes never leave the feast. Now a different game begins. Patient waiting. They know that lions have finite stomachs and will eventually need to drink water. The battle for the zebra is not over. It has simply entered a new phase of silent siege. You have witnessed the brutal battle for a single prey. But what happens when the entire menu is set in motion? The engine of the savannah is about to start. Before the horizon fills with millions of wildebeests, like if you are impressed by the power of Africa. Subscribe so you don't lose track of the herd and turn on the bell, because when the river of life moves, you'll want to be there. The battle for that zebra is not an isolated event. It is a direct consequence of a much grander spectacle, the true engine that drives the drama of the savannah. Long before it is heard, it is felt, a rumbling in the ground, like distant thunder that never stops. It is the heartbeat of Africa. The focus widens to cover the great migration of herbivores. Suddenly, the horizon dissolves into a sea of dust and movement. It is the wildebeests, millions of them, an unstoppable river of life flowing across the plains. With their curved horns and prehistoric appearance, they seem driven by a single collective instinct to follow the rains, to chase fresh pastures. And mixed in among them are their traveling companions, the zebras. Their black and white stripe patterns create dazzling camouflage, a moving optical illusion designed to confuse predators. Often it is the zebras, more cautious and with a better memory of danger, that lead the way. Together, this tide of more than 2 million souls moves like a superorganism, eating and fertilizing the land in a cycle as old as these plains. This endless procession of prey is the traveling banquet that dictates where and when battles between lions and hyenas will be fought. But this torrent of life, driven by an ancestral need to find fresh pastures, does not flow without obstacles. Inevitably, it encounters formidable barriers, and it is here that the dangers they face become apparent. The most terrifying is the Mara River. The herd crowds the dusty banks, a wall of thousands of nervous bodies. The air is filled with panicked roars. They know what lies beneath the murky surface, but the pressure of the migration behind them is relentless. Finally, one jumps, and chaos ensues. That is when the river itself comes alive, especially during the dramatic river crossings, where crocodiles lie in wait. These are not mere reptiles. They are living armor, relics of a time when dinosaurs ruled the earth. They lie motionless like floating logs, with prehistoric patience, having waited all year for this guaranteed feast. When the crossing begins, the water explodes. A 5-meter Nile crocodile, pure muscle power, lunges. Its jaws don't bite, they impact, dragging a full-grown wildebeest underwater in a death roll from which there is no escape. It's not just the predator. Panic itself is a killer. Calves are separated from their mothers, adults are trampled, and the current sweeps away the weak. It is a brutal test of selection, a bloody toll that the migration must pay to continue. But the river of life that is migration does not only attract aquatic giants. In the open grasslands, far from the carnage of the river, a predator patrols, operating under a completely different set of rules. It does not rely on brute force, but on social unity and a relentless strategy. One segment is devoted to African wild dogs. Often called painted wolves, their coats are a chaotic mosaic of black, yellow, and white, unique to each individual. They are the definition of endurance, lean, muscular bodies built not for sprinting but for marathons. Their large, rounded ears swivel like satellite dishes, picking up every sound and allowing for amazing coordination. Their pack is one of the most complex and altruistic societies in the animal world. They live and die for each other, caring for cubs and injured members as a community. This unity translates directly into their hunting style, a relay chase, a lethal choreography. Using a series of chirps and high-pitched whistles to communicate, they take turns harassing their prey, wearing it down mile after mile. With a success rate exceeding 80%, they are, pound for pound, the most efficient and successful predators in the entire savanna. Their success is not based on individual power, but on something much more evolved, a complex social structure based on cooperation. Unlike the brutal hierarchies of other predators, the wild dog pack is a family united by altruism. The entire pack raises the alpha female's pups. They regurgitate food not only for the young, but also for injured or sick members who are left behind. There are no fights over food. Distribution is orderly and communal. This unbreakable social unity is their greatest weapon. And this weapon is deployed in the hunt. They are not sprinters like the cheetah. They are long-distance runners. They employ endurance-based relay hunting tactics. The chase begins with almost military precision. They communicate with high-pitched chirps, coordinating their movements. When a lead dog tires, another takes over without missing a beat, maintaining relentless pressure on the prey. They go on, mile after mile, until their target, often an impala or kudu, collapses from sheer exhaustion. It is a strategy of attrition, a testament to the fact that unity and endurance can overcome brute force. And this amazing cooperation extends far beyond hunting. In fact, it reaches its peak back in the safety of the den, in the communal care of their pups. When the hunting patrol returns, they don't just bring food for themselves. They are greeted by a tangle of excited cubs and the adult caretakers who stayed behind to protect them. The entire clan shares the responsibility. The hunters regurgitate meat for the young and the guardians, ensuring that everyone eats, whether or not they participated in the chase. This social safety net is their insurance policy for the future. By raising their cubs as a single unit, they collectively invest in the next generation of hunters. In a world where lions and hyenas will kill any rival cubs they find, this communal devotion is not only heartwarming, it is the ultimate survival strategy that allows wild dogs to thrive against all odds. But the savannah doesn't just reward endurance and teamwork. It has also forged a specialist at the opposite end of the spectrum, a predator that has staked its entire existence on a single glorious, explosive moment. This is not a feline built for brute strength like the lion. It is a marvel of biological engineering designed for a single purpose: acceleration. Everything about it is optimized. Its spine is incredibly flexible, acting like a spring that coils and uncoils, allowing it to cover more than 7 meters in a single stride. Its claws are not retractable like those of other cats. They are semi-retractable, acting like a runner's spikes to get explosive grip on the ground. Its long tail functions as a rudder, a perfect counterweight that allows it to make sharp turns at incredible speeds. It is capable of going from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just over 3 seconds, an acceleration that surpasses that of most supercars. But this incredible ability comes at a terrible price. Its incredible speed is the result of its specialized anatomy being refined to the extreme. The cheetah has sacrificed strength for speed. Its skull is light and its jaw weak. Its teeth are small because its nostrils are enormous, maximizing oxygen intake during the chase. The iconic black tear lines running down from its eyes are not decorative. They act as a natural anti-glare, vital for focusing on prey during pursuits in broad daylight. But this specialization is a dangerous gamble. It defines its high-risk, high-reward hunting strategy. The risk is immense. The cheetah cannot afford a long chase like the wild dog. Its pursuit is a burst that consumes a massive amount of energy, bringing its body temperature to dangerous levels in less than a minute. If it fails, it is left completely exhausted, vulnerable, and unable to hunt again for hours. Therefore, the reward must be certain. Unlike the lion, the cheetah hunts during the day. It spends hours searching for an isolated target, usually a gazelle. Then it uses meticulous stealth, crawling belly to ground, using every termite mound and tuft of grass to get close to the blast zone. Only then does it unleash its speed. Success means a vital meal, the energy to feed its cubs. Failure means not only hunger, but a deadly risk of overheating or being discovered by a stronger predator in its state of exhaustion. As the exhausted cheetah scans the horizon for terrestrial thieves such as lions or hyenas, it often ignores the threat looming overhead. The battle for survival is not fought on land alone. The domain of the sky is also explored. Here, a totally different kind of killer reigns with ruthless efficiency. A swift shadow glides over the grass, moving faster than a galloping horse. It belongs to the martial eagle, the undisputed feudal lord of African airspace. With a wingspan of over 2.5 meters, this is no ordinary bird of prey. It is the largest and most powerful eagle on the continent. Its strategy is surprise and overwhelming power. While the cheetah needs to stalk its prey, the martial eagle hunts from altitudes of over 1 kilometer, using vision so sharp that it is almost a biological superpower, capable of detecting a young impala or a monkey in the undergrowth from miles away. When it attacks, it is a feathered missile that swoops down, striking with talons the size of a human hand that pierce and kill instantly. In this domain, it is unrivaled. The martial eagle is the embodiment of aerial power, an elite assassin that reigns from above. But on the savannah, death, whether at the hands of an eagle or a lion, never goes unnoticed. The act of killing sends an invisible signal, an invitation that is received by another type of sky dominator. They are the vultures. They do not possess the strength of the martial eagle. Their genius lies in patience and efficiency. At incredible heights, almost invisible from the ground, they glide effortlessly on thermal currents, patrolling vast territories. They do not seek life. They seek its absence. Their vision is extraordinary, but their greatest skill is social vigilance. They don't just watch the ground, they watch each other. When one vulture begins a spiral descent, it acts as a beacon. Within minutes, a single bird becomes a dozen, then 100, creating a chaotic vortex that descends upon the carcass. Their bald heads and necks, which seem grotesque to us, are a vital hygienic adaptation. They allow them to sink deep into a carcass to tear out the flesh without dirtying their feathers, preventing the spread of disease. They are not killers. They are the savanna's essential sanitation system, the cleaning crew that ensures nothing goes to waste and the cycle of life continues. But while vultures dominate the skies above the dry plains, patrolling death, the waterways that crisscross the savanna, the same rivers that pose a mortal danger to wildebeests, have their own aerial ruler. And its arrival is not seen, it is heard, a sharp, piercing cry that has become the soundtrack of wild Africa. It is the call of the osprey. With its iconic white head, snowy breast, and chestnut body, it is unmistakable. Unlike the vulture, it is not a scavenger. It is a specialized hunter of lethal precision. It perches on the dead branch of a tall tree overlooking the river, scanning the water with the same intensity that the martial eagle scans the land. Suddenly, it launches itself. It dives at an astonishing speed, wings folded. At the last second, it extends its talons and strikes the water. Its feet are an evolutionary masterpiece. The underside of its talons is covered with tiny sharp spikes, called spicules, designed to grip its slippery prey. With a powerful flap of its wings, it emerges triumphant, a silvery fish writhing in its talons, proving that in the savanna, every niche, even the sky above the water, has its own apex predator. But the osprey's domain ends at the river's edge, and it is here, at the boundary between water and land, that the true architects of this continent roam, a force that dwarfs all others. Meet the African elephants. They are not simply the largest land animals. They are an ancient consciousness, a living mountain of intelligence and emotion. Their very presence shapes the landscape, knocking down trees to create grasslands and digging into dry riverbeds to find water, saving not only their families, but countless smaller species. And this incredible force is organized in the most sophisticated way, highlighting their matriarchal society. Their families are not led by the largest or most aggressive male. Those males live largely solitary lives. The heart of elephant society is sisterhood. They are led by the oldest and wisest female, the matriarch. She is the living repository of the herd's knowledge, a walking library of migration routes, social interactions, and most crucially, the location of every water source. Knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Her leadership is not based on domination, but on experience, wisdom, and a deep family unity. But the osprey's domain ends at the river's edge. And it is here, at the boundary between water and land, that the true architects of this continent roam, a force that dwarfs all others, introducing the African elephants. They are not simply the largest land animals. They are an ancient consciousness, a living mountain of intelligence and emotion. Their very presence shapes the landscape, knocking down trees to create grasslands and digging into dry riverbeds to find water, saving not only their families, but countless smaller species. And this incredible force is organized in the most sophisticated way, highlighting their matriarchal society. Their families are not led by the largest or most aggressive male. Those males live largely solitary lives. The heart of elephant society is sisterhood. They are led by the oldest and wisest female, the matriarch. She is the living repository of the herd's knowledge, a walking library of migration routes, social interactions, and most crucially, the location of every water source, knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Her leadership is not based on domination, but on experience, wisdom, and deep family unity. In this often dry and unforgiving landscape, brute force is useless without foresight. The matriarch's wisdom and memory are crucial. She is the living compass of the family. Her mind not only remembers locations, it contains a three-dimensional map of time and space. She remembers where the water holes were during the last great drought a decade ago. She knows which riverbeds, though dry on the surface, hide water a meter below the sand, a secret her own mother taught her to dig for. This is not individual knowledge. It is knowledge passed down through generations. Every young female walking behind her is learning this ancient map, memorizing the invisible routes that connect each source of sustenance. When the dust rises and the sun cracks the earth, It is the matriarch who leads the way. She knows she must guide her family to vital water sources, sometimes hundreds of miles away. Her quiet confidence calms the entire herd. She does not hope to find water. She knows where the water is. Her memory is the thread that binds the past, present, and future of her lineage. You have witnessed the ancient balance, the strength of the lion, the endurance of the hyena, and the wisdom of the elephant. But this ancestral world faces a new predator, one for which it is unprepared. If you believe these stories should continue to be told, please like as a sign of support. Subscribe to become a guardian of these wild chronicles, and activate the bell so you don't miss a single chapter of their struggle for survival. But that ancestral wisdom, that map of survival engraved in the matriarch's mind, now faces an adversary that cannot be trampled, intimidated, or memorized. This eternal war between lions and hyenas, the speed of the cheetah, the patience of the crocodile, and the wisdom of the elephant. All this drama unfolded under a set of ancient rules. Now, those rules are being erased. Human expansion advances like an unstoppable tide, pushing the boundaries of this wild world. The direct consequence is habitat fragmentation. The ancestral migration routes that wildebeests have followed for millennia are now cut off by roads, settlements, and fences. The vast territories that a pack of wild dogs needs to thrive are becoming isolated islands, generating conflict and limiting genetic diversity. And above it all looms the invisible shadow of climate change. The rainfall patterns on which the Great Migration depends are becoming erratic. Droughts are longer and more brutal, drying up the water holes that the elephant matriarch remembered from her youth. Floods are more sudden and violent. All the players in this great theater, the lion, the hyena, the elephant, the eagle, are now caught up in a new conflict, one for which evolution did not prepare them. This ancient balance, forged over millions of years of adaptation, is resilient, but it is not infinite. The savannah's most brutal battle is no longer just between predator and prey. It is a fight for the very survival of their world.